Appreciate you joining us, Siddharth. I want to cut across to our political panelists because there's a huge slugfest, and I'll begin with our Congress spokesperson at this juncture, Dr. Anshul Avijit, we have from the Congress, and I have Gopal Krishna Agarwal from the Bharatiya Janata Party. Mr. Avijit, yes, you've been saying that this is a very small offering of just 5 rupees cut down where petrol is concerned and 10 on diesel. You call it a crude joke, but you can help in that, at least in the states that you run, by cutting down VAT. Why aren't you not doing so?
No, we will do whatever is necessary to help the poor, which has always been our policy. If you remember in the UPA times, we consistently did that. In fact, one of the ways in we did that and protected the poor from increasing international prices of oil was the oil bonds itself, which was actually a debt instrument which helped in protecting everybody. Of course, it's become a sort of a point of critique for the government, but the government really has to pay nothing for that. So we've done that. Let me remind you of the kind of prices that existed, since we're doing a bit of number crunching at the moment, that existed when the UPA was there. At that time, the price of international crude was 106, and in Delhi, the price of petrol was about 71, and the price of diesel was 55 rupees. Now the price of international crude is barely above 80. And we have the prices that we have. Look, this is absolutely the cruel joke of politics, of petrol. Shamelessly playing with the lives of the poor. This is economic posturing. This has nothing to do
Dr. Avijit, before I go to Gopal Krishna Agarwal, I'll ask you again. If you've done so much in the past, is politics stopping you from cutting down VAT in states which are run by the Congress?
No, there is nothing. We will measure. We will take stock of what has happened and we will do what is necessary. But I want to tell you about the amount of stress deficit that exists between the center and the states with regard to the GST. Also, the fact that we've already, in states like Madhya Pradesh, and if you compare it with Chhattisgarh, the Madhya Pradesh barely decreased their VAT. And to come down to the level of Chhattisgarh, it has to decrease by almost 15 rupees. In Haryana, they've given another, kind of chicanery where they've decreased the price of petrol, but actually increased the price of diesel. So this is pure trickery. And they think that they've wrong-footed their critics. But everyone can see through it because of reversals in the elections.
Okay, Dr. Gopal Krishna.
We're in terminal panic, Preeti.
Right. Dr. Gopal Krishna Agarwal, let's begin with this. The reason why the citizens of this country got that bit of a Diwali bonus was because you had possible reverses that you were not very happy with, especially in the state of Himachal, which was riding back on high inflation, high fuel prices. And that's the reason why you took it back. It was a political move.
Preeti ji, we should understand whatever you may assign or anybody may assign agenda or the motive behind. But the fact is that it is the center which has taken the lead in reducing the excise. And you cannot say that overnight this decision can be taken. It's a well thought of decision. Every single rupee reduced in the excise by the center, almost 13,000 crore of loss is borne by the center. So we have to understand that it is not an overnight decision, one thing. Second thing is, when the Congress spokesperson talks about how they managed oil prices earlier, that time they are selectively giving the figures. Why? That time the inflation was 9.5%. And today the inflation rate is 4.6%. That time the central government did not come out with a package of 30 lakh crore for the post-COVID pandemic. There was no free vaccination to almost more than 100 crore population. The amount of government has spent on the welfare of providing food to the people, providing housing, building road infrastructure. That time the roads were being built at 11 kilometers per day. Now it is 37 kilometers per day. So the amount of spending that the central government is doing on the welfare scheme, post-COVID fiscal stimulus, the amount the central government has reduced on GST taxation, amount has been reduced on the direct taxes. So ultimately, this is a very well thought of decision by the central government. When the stimulus further, this will boost the economy to a very large extent.
Mr. Agarwal, you just heard my colleague give you some figures which are staggering in terms of the contribution through taxes, which was excise tax that has been made, which the citizens have paid in the last 1 year alone. I want to ask you, because when the crude was low, you didn't pass on the benefit to the citizens. You've rolled back excise right now. And now, in all probabilities, crude is going to rise again. Then what?
So, Preeti, we have to understand that overall, the total tax collection at the center constitutes collection from petrol, direct tax, indirect tax, and on the other side, whatever is the government expenditure. So these figures have to be matched. So if we are collecting tax, reducing under indirect tax and GST, where many items are less than 5% and even have attracted tax under indirect tax 5% and 0%. Only 6 items are there which are taxed at 28% and 18%. Maximum commodities are taxed at 18%. That time it was 30% earlier. So we have reduced indirect tax.
So when crude rises again, the prices will automatically go up again, which will be a matter of days.
So therefore, we are asking the Congress-ruled state that we have walked the talk.
Tell us one thing.
Now
most Congress-ruled states and opposition states are asking first pay us the GST. You're withholding our GST, pay us the GST and then ask for a VAT cut.
This is a wrong narration that the Congress is building. Center is compensating GST to the states. And by 22, everything which is pending will be paid to the state. And another point we have to understand that the center had committed that even if the center collection in GST tax is reduced drastically over the COVID period, still the states are getting